My Uncle David, he passed away. It's been about 3 years now, and he was only 64 years old and really young, but he was just one of those uncles that was like super influential in my life. And he is the first person to ever put an instrument in my hand. And it was really cool, his approach. Like, he just didn't really care what instrument you played, what song you played, what kind of music. It wasn't one of those situations where, you know, you have a parent that tries to get you to take piano and play classical
You
piano.
will play Bach.
Yeah, like he was like, you can play anything you want as long as you just play. And my parents have not a musical bone in their body, and so I never knew music was even a possibility for me until Uncle David. I think the first instrument he ever put in my hands was a set of spoons. If you're from the South, you know all about the spoons. If you're not, you should. There's a lady from Asheville that plays on this.
Abby the Spoon Lady.
Yeah, the spoon lady.
Yeah.
But I quickly you know, I kind of progressed, and he put a guitar in my hand and taught me to play Johnny B. Good on this guitar up here. Actually, was the very first guitar I ever played, and when he passed away, he willed that guitar to me, which is really cool. I look at it and just think about, you know, how inspired I was back then to play music and try and kind of keep his legacy alive. And so Mike and David's really important to me in remembrance of David. And then also my Uncle Mike, he also passed away the same year as my Uncle David, also at a very young age. And he was not musical in any way, but I think I always thought that they could have been really good friends had they met, Mike and David, and they never got to meet in life. And so I think about where they are now, and hopefully they're together and being able to, you know, interact with each other. But the thing that I never really spent a whole lot of time thinking about, but as I've been processing why I wrote the song Mike and David, I think part of it is because we never actually had a funeral for my Uncle Mike. In fact, you know, we've talked about it a few times, but it's just never happened. And this is sort of my way of keeping his legacy alive and the memory of Uncle Mike through the song, which, you know, if I passed away and no one wanted to have a funeral, but they wrote a song about me, I'd be pretty happy. That's a great way to honor somebody, so.
As you were talking about that, I thought of something too, which is that you were saying that Mike wasn't musical. However, he really was gifted with the art of storytelling and sarcasm and dark humor. And he was, you know, so good at, like, you could sit down with him and talk. And I think that even if you don't think he like gave you a musical like melody writing ability or ability to play an instrument, he did teach you a lot about stories and like tall tales.
Yeah, he was really gruff. He was like always the one in the family with, yeah, the tall tale to tell you. You know, he loved to fish, so he would tell you at first that he caught a fish this big, and by the time he got around the room and told everybody, the fish was like this big. And I don't know. I always, yeah, you're right. That probably translates a lot to songwriting.
Just something I was thinking about.